Next week is going to be the biggest week when it comes to the AMC short squeeze. All right. Not in the sense that something's going to happen next week that is going to push the share price from the 14 we're sitting now to 1400s. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we have earnings coming up on August 1st, 4th. All right. So on August 4th, we're going to know exactly if AMC has gone back to profitability, meaning will this mean that for the last quarter, for the last 3 months, AMC has managed the business in a way that they are spending less money than the money they're making? Because we know they're making a lot of money. How do we know that? We know that by the amount of, the box office numbers. Lots of people are going back to theaters in terms of millions, globally speaking. We have a bunch of movies that came out. We have, the Marvels. We have the Minions. We have so many movies that came out that I can even think now because I'm having a blank. But we have a lot of movies that came out and that are going to continue to come out. But also, we know that AMC has been paying off debt or refinancing debt. So the amount of money that we're putting towards debt has reduced. So that will come back in their pockets. We also know that they are making investments. All right. We know that they are, they bought the Hicroft, mine gold. And at this point, it's very early to start, speculating about the amount of money they're going to make. Like, the potential is really huge. All right. But on top of that, the bottom line is a bunch of the short sellers, pretty much everybody on Wall Street, the media, the short sellers, the research companies, the analysts with a $1 price target, with the, I don't care, a $5 price target, are still betting on AMC closing doors like we were still in 2020. Even when good news come out, these guys tend to find a way to turn it into a negative or to diminish the highlight or the good part of the news or what AMC is doing to go back to profitability. We have the popcorn business, everything. So we have a lot more income sources than we had just last year. On top of the business being, going back to attracting a lot more clients, paying for movies, tickets, but also everything else in terms of food and everything else. So we know the amount of sales is going to be huge. Now, I'm also betting, I'm from the camp of people thinking that AMC also did a pretty good job at maintaining costs. And that's why I believe we have a pretty good chance of this company reporting earnings that for the, last how many quarters they're now being profitable. So they are now making money. So this it's a news that in itself is enough to bring additional people who are just sitting on the sidelines waiting to see when AMC will go back to profitability in order to join the retail investor crowd that are already sitting here in the stock for the last 2 years. That's number one. Number two is we know that the CEO announced there is going to be surprises with the value of, with the potential of pouncing the short sellers. Is it going to be a dividend? Is it going to be a crypto? Is it going to be an NFT? Is it going to be some sort of, a buyback? Buyback is the company buying back its own shares, because by doing so, it's a sustainable way for the stock price to continue to grow despite the short sellers. So if I take every of that and I combine it kind of in a crystal ball, it's pretty bullish. It's pretty bullish. But until we get to, the August 4th earnings, we won't know. It will be pure speculation. But I do believe we are in a good shape when it comes to one of those surprises, because either it's buyback, either it's a dividend. Even if it's a 0.01 cent dividend, it is still enough to cause such a short squeeze wave, such a brutal short squeeze in this play that it has the potential of going back to the highest we've seen in June. But that being said, I want to be expecting the worst. The best. I want to be hoping for the best, but I also want to expect the worst and be prepared. That's why I treat AMC as my I parked the money there, and until it gets to a certain point, I'm not even looking at it, because I know at some point, it doesn't matter regardless of what these short sellers are trying to do, regardless of the negativity, regardless of the FUD, regardless of the shenanigans we created out of this play, it still has the potential of changing a lot of people's life finances. So I'm willing to play the patience game because I'm not relying on that money to live, and I'm not relying on that money to continue to trade and to invest in the market. So I have time. Maybe that time is going to be next month. Maybe not. But even if it's not, you know what? I'm still going to wait because I know what I'm holding to. I know.